As DHS receives Afghan nationals through Operation Allies, welcome, our officers are working around the clock to ensure that we meet the needs of this vulnerable population. As we perform this important work, we must maintain awareness of how our assessment of the individuals we encounter will affect our interactions with them. This interaction will impact the responses and reactions we received from these individuals. Many have gone through an immense amount of trauma on their journey to their new home. The human brain makes quick judgments and assessments of people and situations. This response can lead us to unintentionally judge people and situations that are not familiar to our background, cultural environment, and personal experience. These judgments or biases affect all interpersonal interactions in our everyday life and in the workplace. This video will describe how we can tailor our responses to be sensitive to and appreciative of Afghan cultural backgrounds and experiences at every stage of the resettlement process. It will explain how we can develop cultural competence by being aware of the differences between our personal cultural backgrounds and those of the Afghan evacuees we are assisting, and learn to communicate in a culturally competent manner. Culture is formed by the characteristics, behavior, and knowledge of a specific group of people. Culture can include symbols, language, values, norms, beliefs, socialization patterns, arts, and food. Cultural competence is the ability to work effectively in cross-cultural settings. Many arriving Afghans have unique needs related to their experience of displacement. They may have a greater need for social services, including medical and family support services, and may face significant language and other barriers in accessing these services. Providing a culturally appropriate response to their needs will assist with their adjustment to life in the United States. To be culturally competent, we must reflect on our own culture, beliefs, biases, and values, and how these affect our interactions with others. How might your own cultural background, as well as your race, gender, or other identity affect the Afghan evacuees with whom you are interacting? Being self-aware can help you avoid making judgments or assumptions about individuals from other cultural backgrounds. What are your own limitations when working with Afghan nationals, and when might you need to seek assistance from a supervisor or refer them for more appropriate services? Knowing a few cultural considerations will help you be more effective in your interactions. Stereotypes often influence perceptions of individuals. Afghanistan is not a self-contained ethnic unit, and its culture is not uniform. Afghanistan is home to myriad ethnic, linguistic, and religious groups. We must in turn value the cultural backgrounds of Afghans. Being open-minded, interested, and willing to learn about an individual's personal history is as important as gaining an understanding of the historical and socio-political context of Afghan individuals' country of origin. Many of our Afghan allies have a special affinity to the United States and our service members. They have served alongside our military and civilian personnel. The largest group in Afghanistan are the Pashtuns, being 40% of the country's population. While Afghanistan is 99% Muslims, there are many sects of Islam and other faiths among our Afghan allies. Afghans are as diverse as Americans and are not a monolith. There are a range of cultural norms and practices across the country, as well as ethnic backgrounds. Afghans have been migrating to the United States since the late 1800s, although many arrived after the 1979 Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. As of 2019, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, there are more than 156,000 Afghan Americans living in the United States. They are very much a thread in the American fabric. From our small business owners and entrepreneurs to teachers, doctors, and lawyers, and law enforcement like myself. As we engage with Afghan nationals, we must do so respectfully, making a human connection and creating a safe environment are also essential to developing a foundation of trust, in particular those who have experienced trauma or other negative experiences while still in Afghanistan or during the evacuation and resettlement process. One of the most important factors in being culturally competent is effective communication. How we communicate forms the basis of our interactions and the relationship moving forward. There are many barriers to effective communication, including access to translation and special services for individuals with disabilities. You should always ensure as you work on Operation Allies Welcome that materials and communications are accessible to all through translation or interpreter services. In closing, as Secretary of Homeland Security Mayorkas said, this mission reflects the best of who we are as a country. Thank you for your assistance in this shared endeavor to welcome our allies and to resettle Afghans into our neighborhood and cities.